Hey there, guys, and what is up? Real Diversity here, and we are here with our first ever discussion video. And I made a reference video for you guys earlier, so just to kind of go ahead and tell you guys what we're going to be talking about. So if you're really interested about to know what's finna go down, you check out the reference video first, and then come right back. But right now, we are going to discuss the reality of coronavirus. So you always know what we're going to talk about in these videos, just based off of the title. So you should already know we're gonna be talking about, and basically it's just me giving my personal opinion on the subject and things like that. So just so you can hear another voice, if just in case you're curious of what other people are thinking besides yourself and things like that, I'm here to give you my personal opinion just so you can know, right? So and what I mean by this reality coronavirus is basically we don't, I feel like a lot of people don't truly grasp what's going on, and this is videos basically just me trying to break it kind of down for you guys, simply as I know it and as I put. So basically, I am a biology major in undergrad school currently, and in my just finished my junior year, so finna head into my senior year, and basically, this corona stuff really happened right when I was taking classes very similar to this whole epidemic. So I was learning about epidemics. Literally, I learned the definition of an epidemic, and like 2 weeks later, the corona started spreading. So like I mean, I was like literally, as that stuff was going on, learning about that type of things like that, viruses. I learned about all that type of stuff. I've taken like immunology classes, so I know a lot about the body. I'm not a professional in terms of like these experts. I'm not an expert or anything like that, but I know a truly lot about biology, viruses, the body, and all of that good stuff. So what is going down here with this virus is, I mean, this isn't the first virus, right? What's going down here is pretty much the first modern day virus. So what I mean by that is, back in the day, they didn't have cell phones, computers, laptop, internet, all that good stuff to basically communicate in the instant. Right now, we're living in a modern age where we can communicate in seconds, right? So once someone says this or does that, it's out there and known in just seconds, like I said. So this is a virus that pretty much came at a time where we as a society can communicate very freely and openly with each other, and pretty much it kind of boosts like our fear and things like that. So we kind of get hyped off each other, like, oh man, he said this, this said that, and it just builds up on a lot of unknown and things like that, and it just makes everything worse and confusing. And I think at the same time, if we didn't have, so say, computers, internet, all that good stuff, do you think we would have had lockdowns, right? We probably would have, but it wouldn't have been nowhere near the extent it is now, right? We're on complete shutdowns. Lockdowns would have been a little bit differently if we didn't have like the internet to completely, like, I guess, blow it up, right? So it may have been like, stay at home best you can. They might have added, maybe tried to add a couple things like wear masks and like that. They wouldn't have completely shut down the economy the way they did, I feel like, if it was a before modern age tech time. So that's my opinion on that, and why I feel like it has been kind of really blew up more than I think it ever would have in the past. So yeah, that is that that. But let's talk more so about that's just how I felt about people's understanding of how it spread it in the news generally. But let's just kind of move on to the virus itself aspect and things like that. So the reality, and this is really what I was trying to get at with this video, was that when you have a virus, right, there is only two ways to get over it if you don't completely avoid the virus in general. The two ways are to catch the virus and get better, right? You get sick, you get over it. The second way is, we humans came up with it ourselves, is a vaccine. Now, what is a vaccine? Basically, the same thing as catching it, but a much smaller, safer dose, so you won't get sick from it, but enough for your immune system to activate and create an immune response, and to be ready for that virus next time it shows up. So next time it shows up, it's just immediately eradicated, because it knows, it's seen it before, dealt with it before, and it knows what to do. So that is the two ways to get rid of a virus, right? So, a virus this that has spread this far, this late in, experts already say that this is gonna be like probably a seasonal type flu in years to come, right? So it's already at the point where it won't come out of. It's gonna be in society for a minute. It's gonna be in constant rotation, like the flu. The only difference is we just don't have a vaccine right now for it. That is everyone's biggest freak out problem, right? People are scared because they don't know that they're fearful of catching the virus, and I feel like it's been blown up, the effects of the virus, things like that. But the virus is simply as is a flu, right? It just attacks your respiratory system, and it's just a little bit different than a flu, but it is similar to getting, the flu. It's like a normal virus, quote unquote, pathogen virus. So just know that getting it isn't the worst thing that can happen to you. Basically, if you live through it, which is a good chance, it is actually probably the best thing that can happen to you, because once you've seen it, your body sees it, dealt with it, then you're good. And a lot of things people don't even realize is you may have even had it yourself. If you haven't got tested and don't know if you've ever had it or not, you may have even gotten it and not even have felt symptoms for it. It is a lot of times you won't even know it, you have the virus or whatever. So you're easily able to catch it and not, even, get sick from it, right? So it's not even always you're gonna get the, cough, sick in bed, can't get up, type stuff. But other people catch it differently, different health problems, different things like that. It's gonna always vary, and a population is gonna never have the same result a lot of times. So it's gonna have general symptoms that people share and things like that, but a lot of times it's gonna be different. Not everyone's gonna have the same cookie cutter reaction. Like I said, some people aren't gonna notice it all. Some people are gonna in worst case scenario die from it. But it is how it always has been with viruses and sickness and things like that. So it's nothing new. It's just more so people don't truly understand why the world is freaking out. Well, I feel like the true reason the world is freaking out, right? So I think that I covered that pretty solid with the virus. Yeah, so it's nothing to fear, right? At this point in it, there's two things that's got to happen, guys. You're gonna have to get it, or you're gonna have to try to avoid it until the vaccine comes out. One of the two. And other than that, you have no other options with the virus. And just hope if you do catch it before the vaccine that you it doesn't affect you too hard, right? Anything like that. So, but like I said, it's not as bad as it's blown up to be. It's just like I said, any normal. If you've had the flu multiple times, then I mean, yeah, you're pretty much solid on probably surviving the corona. So things like that. So, what we will talk about now is that wait, what was I going at? Well, yeah, why is the world freaking out, right? So the world is pretty much freaking out for I won't say two reasons. I don't know how many yet, but right, the main reason is population. If it spreads too much too quickly, right? This is what they've been talking about with this curve, flatten the curve, whatever. That is what everyone's truly focused on, is that curve, right? It's because if it comes to a point where too many people get corona at the same time and too many people have super symptoms, super deadly, super critical, they're in critical conditions basically. It's too many critical condition patients come to the hospital all at once. They're not going to be able to take care of everybody at the same time. So it will come to a point where they would have to basically pick and choose in a sense. And this is the most extreme case, who gets to live and die. But a lot of times you just may be a critical condition. You may not die, but they're going to have to pick and choose who they're going to help and who they don't want to help, which is almost, like I said, picking and choose who gets to live and die. And that's what they've been really trying to avoid. That is basically it. I promise you guys, besides that, and obviously overwhelming the medical staff at hospitals and things like that, that is pretty much all they care about. So they don't want to completely overload these hospitals, and they don't want to completely come to a situation where they have to, like I said, pick and choose who lives and dies. So that's what they've been really trying to avoid. And what they mean by flattening the curves, making these lockdowns, shutdowns, things like that. Obviously, deaths are gonna happen, right? Like the flu or anything like that. Deaths happen. It's just not as blown up because really we're doing all we can. If a vaccine is out, that is the most as a human race we can do at this point, to besides like taking maybe flu medicine and things like that to help your symptoms. But other than that, for viruses anyway, that is all we can truly do, is give out vaccine. Well, there are antivirals, but not many, and they're not always as effective because viruses are so adaptive and have so many strains and things like that. So it's a lot hard, really tough to deal with viruses. That's why so far things like a coronavirus is a little bit scary, just because it's so hard to handle with limited things we can do with viruses. So like I said, vaccine wise though, that is all we can pretty much hope for, and that is why when we do have a vaccine, it's not as big, right? That's why the flu isn't as big, like I was saying. But yeah, so basically, I don't really truly believe the government and things like that, other countries, world, the top officials really care about I mean, people are gonna die. They know that. They're probably not too worried about that, but they're more so worried about, well, they don't want obviously to be an insane death toll. But there's another reason why they want to keep the curve down, is because maybe if everyone isn't run to the hospital and they don't have to come to that choose who lives and dies situation, maybe they can save more people in that case, right? So there's another, reason. But it's truly, they're not like, the virus isn't, you get it, you're done for type deal. That's not the whole reason there's lockdowns and shutdowns, things like that. Their whole reason, like I said, I've explained, is for other reasons besides, the actual effects of the virus or symptoms, or, things like, that illness is. But yeah, so that is pretty much the reality on that side of it. And I'm trying to think. Okay, so let's talk about the reaction of maybe some companies and corporates, things like that, right? So some companies and corporates, they are, they're going above and beyond, and, doing things such as changing their rules and things like that, working at home. Some essential businesses are forcing their workers, employees, to wear masks and things like that. Now, in a sense, you can say, yes, that is a little overreactive and reacting, but yeah, it really is. But in the sense of the situation we are in now, with the under testing and under there's not really a high availability for testing and things like that, that is the kind of biggest, or at least as far as I know, there still is like a problem with how many tests we're getting out. We're not getting out enough testing like that. But they're just pretty much, what they're trying to prevent is, with these tests right now, they know not enough people have gotten tested, so they want to just kind of avoid a little bit, like how many people, if we just make people wear masks just to be on the safe side. Since we know not everyone has been tested, not everyone will get tested, this is have our employees wear masks to avoid them from spreading it personally. And some companies are even going as far as making even their customers wear masks and protection and things like that. It's called PPE. But yeah, so just know that it is overreacting, but they are basically doing it to kind of, what's the word? To basically compensate, I guess you can say like that, for the lack of testing and things like that. So that's pretty much what's going on with that side of it, the world, the corporate side. And then, like I said, it's nothing insane, right? If you truly, and this video is, just talk about it, but also to kind of educate those who may not truly know. They just think, oh, it's a virus, if I get it, I'm gonna get sick. You're not always gonna get sick from it. It just depends person to person. And it is, random. So I mean, yeah, elderly people are more likely to die from it, but that is because of, obviously, they're more likely to die from a lot of things. Obviously, if you've ever heard nursing room stories, or nursing home, I mean, stories, things like that. They're always really trying to stop them from even just getting the normal flu and things like that, because it's really it always affects the elderly people and things like that. So that's obviously always a problem for them when it comes to these type of things. And as well, it's gonna just always randomly affect people in general. So people like young kids, older kids, fully healthy adults, it's gonna affect everyone different. People with different health conditions, problems, things like that. It's always going to affect people differently. Like I said, some people it's gonna hit them as hard as a train, and some people it's just gonna hit them like a breeze of wind. So it's not always gonna be the same. I already said earlier, cookie cutter effect. So there's no reason to expect the worst or anything if you get it, and you may, like I said, have already gotten it and not even realized it. And I mean, like, some people, you can be exposed to it, inhaled it, the virus or whatever, and your body may have even just managed to kill it before it could even replicate or things like that. So you may be lucky enough to have done that. So it's not always a instant you know sickness or instant whatever the government or not the news media wants to make it seem. I mean, I'd rather not say government, because it's more so the media and news feed. But yeah, so this is definitely one of those subjects you want to always educate yourself on, for yourself. And right now is a time, I don't really like when people say now you should come out of this situation with like a new skill or trade or whatever. Just make the best of it is all I'll say. If you can, just make the best of your situation you're in right now. And if you have guys any more questions, leave a comment. If you really enjoyed this, leave a like. And like I said, we're going to be doing plenty of discussion videos, always going to be different. So if you're waiting for those, please hit that subscribe button. Real Diversity, we're out.